Hello, I'm Amy Davies, the CEO of First 30, and today I am joined by Skai of Guusto. Skai, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Great. Hi, Amy. And you nailed the name there out of the gate.
Yeah, I've got some practice.
Tough one. But yeah, I'm one of the founders and CEO here at Guusto. We are an employee recognition platform. And so we help HR leaders intentionally shape great culture at their organization so that people love where they work.
And I just want to say to everyone that you are so good at spreading the love, because the way that you and I connected recently was I was with Joe your partner at an HR conference. We were next to each other in booths. So we got to know each other there, but you reached out to me not long ago and just wanted to learn more about what we do. And you were so great. And we're a younger business than you are. And you said, how can I help you? Which was so amazing, such a great way to support other entrepreneurs in the space. And I wanted you to know publicly how much I appreciated that call with you. So thank you very much. So I want everyone to know about this great manifesto you guys have written. And this is kind of the topic or idea we're going to talk about today. So why don't you share a little bit about that manifesto and what it means to the HR community?
It's called Culture is the Ultimate Advantage. And it came from just this story, or like our own journey, right? One day I was Googling around to kind of see what sort of reviews we were getting for the app online. And I came across our Glassdoor profile, and there was a 1-star Glassdoor review on there from an employee.
Oh, that had to hurt. Oh.
Joe and I aren't bad bosses or anything like that, but we were just so focused on kind of the customer, the problem, and building the product. So sales product. And we failed to really invest and intentionally think about the culture that we were building at Guusto. And so when we had this mindset shift of like, oh, if we're going to help companies create great culture and build these employee recognition programs, we've got to do that first here at Guusto. And when that happened, everything started to change, and employees really started to engage. We obviously started to kind of attract better talent, getting more kind of employee referrals. And so we saw firsthand just the impact of what great culture can do for your company. And since then, the company's grown from about 15 people to I think we're just shy of about kind of 55 or 60 people now. The manifesto kind of like came out of that experience. And so the reason that culture is really the ultimate advantage is threefold. Information is being exchanged so fast now that any sort of competitive advantage in a traditional kind of category or business area. So if you're focused on kind of like a specific product, or maybe a marketing strategy or a sales tactic or something, it's so quickly copied by all of your competitors. But culture is very difficult for people to copy. And so it's really kind of the only sustainable advantage.
And that is really interesting, because I've worked in, the CPG industry and the telecoms industry, and there's always so much concern around trade secrets, but no one's really talking about what you're discussing now, because you and I were just having the conversation that your employees are your biggest cost center. And so if you can invest in making them motivated and excited and committed to what they're doing, then you have a huge competitive advantage that, like you said, it can't be replicated by others.
Mm-hmm. And what's funny about the language that you use there is that the word cost center kind of like is like a challenge for HR people. They have to kind of break through, right? Because the executive teams often look at kind of culture programs as just that, like, hey, this is like a cost rather than an investment. And I think that comes from the fact that culture has this reputation of being kind of intangible and difficult to measure. The average cost when employees turnover is about 33%, I believe. It's up higher, like as you're kind of replacing more and more senior roles and they're more difficult. But that's just the cost of like replacing them. That doesn't kind of account for the lost productivity or the lost kind of opportunity cost when somebody's not in that role and you're missing out on sales potentially there. The biggest piece, and so like when you invest in your culture, there is a huge return in just kind of engagement. So absenteeism goes down, turnover goes down, but the big one is productivity. And when you get people that are really engaged in kind of their work and they're doing the best work of their lives, you're going to get better innovation. You're going to get kind of better kind of engagement in their work. You're going to get better collaboration. You're going to get employee referrals, right? And advocacy. So they're kind of bringing on other talented people onto the team. And then just this, and this one's a little bit more difficult to measure, but like your employer brand and just your ability to attract other top talent. So there's this kind of compounding effect where your great culture starts to kind of build on itself, and the more talented people that you kind of bring into the organization, the faster you go. But the biggest thing that you can do is kind of like start with a small program and set some of those targets internally and get the data internally for your team and show the results. And so like if you're a large organization, you've got multiple locations, maybe you start with kind of a handful of locations or just one location, or maybe you start with kind of one department. You're seeing kind of higher turnover in the customer support team. Maybe you start with a recognition program there or some other culture initiative. But if you can show tangible results and measure it and bring those back to your leadership team, that's going to allow you to kind of build your budget over time. Because often what we'll see kind of companies do is they'll go to these kind of big RFPs. They'll roll out this giant program. It takes, 6 months to a year to kind of plan it all out. They'll roll it out. There's a whole lot of hype, and then things kind of like simmer down, and they haven't really kind of put a lot of thought into kind of how to measure things. And the whole thing kind of just falls apart. But if you can kind of like start small and start showing the impact that things are having and then kind of build over time, you've just got a much higher likelihood of success.
That's amazing advice. Start with a pilot in a specific area and then show the results and then build from there. I love it. Yeah.
Do you do that with kind of your onboarding programs? Like
Yes. And we actually just had one of our global clients. Yesterday, we found out that they launched their first pilot in Canada, which is a smaller market, and now they're going to be launching in the US. So that was great validation for us, and definitely we're on the same page with how we recommend our clients utilize our services. It works best for everyone involved, and then you have so much more buy-in from other markets or across the country that you're serving. So if our listeners, viewers want to know where to find out more about you and your business, where should they go?
So they can just check out guusto.com.
That's Guusto, right?
You got it. Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure people know are going to the right place.
the W. There actually is a Gusto with one U, and they do a lot of payroll stuff. So if you're looking for that,
then go there.
A small business, but yeah, Guusto.com. Gusto. You think about the word kind of mucho gusto, my pleasure. Yes. For myself, I'm on LinkedIn, very active there. So connect with me on LinkedIn, and that's kind of where we had the opportunity to kind of connect.
Yeah.
And, love kind of sharing ideas and bouncing things around there. And if anybody's interested in the manifesto, you can find it on our site, but it's just guusto.com/culture-advantage.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for reaching out to me, first of all, initially, and really appreciate you being with us today and sharing your expertise.
Awesome. Well, it's great to connect, Amy, and congratulations on all your kind of success getting your kind of company off the ground. And
thank you.
Look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.